Hello. My student, Bill, who went to South Korea about 3 years ago, year 2016, just got back from Korea with a degree in, electrical and computer engineering. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah. As you know, I go by Dr. J. Thanks for watching. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about, what kind of tips Bill may have for students who are going to be in similar situations.
Yep.
In South Korea in this case. And Bill got his degree in South Korea from the university called SUNGKYUNKWAN University. It's a top tier university. Is that true?
Yes, in some things, yes. Yeah, for engineering and the sciences, it's quite high.
So it's a very nice university. I have to thank Professor Kim.
Yeah.
Hyung-sik Kim. Professor Kim was instrumental in terms of getting Bill this scholarship. Do you know the name of the scholarship?
Well, it was thanks to Dr. Kim that I found out about the Korean government scholarship program, KGSP. I hadn't really planned on doing any graduate studies until he mentioned that there's a program where they'll essentially pay for your education as well as a year of language training. KGSP.
Oh, KGSP.
Korean Government Scholarship Program.
I see. Yeah, so thanks to the scholarship, Bill got his master's degree without really having to worry about the tuition and room and board, right?
Right. Yeah. There's a stipend that comes as part of that.
The theme of this talk today is really the language.
Yeah.
The importance of learning the language and the culture.
So one thing that colors my experience there was that the first year was mandatory language training. And so, of course, the Korean's not easy. And I got the benefit of having a year of training before I started my graduate studies. But despite that, I still think that there are people who go there should start studying the language almost right away. So for us in the Western speaking languages, Korean is quite hard. It's very, for me, it's very different. There's hardly any cognates like in the, technical words. So like everything has to be memorized, Yeah,
it's interesting because I think it's unthinkable for, say, an international student to come to the US to study without knowing how to speak, or how to read English.
Yeah, without even knowing how the alphabet works. Right. It would be crazy.
But then I'm sure there are students going to Korea to study there. Yeah. And not prepared at all in terms of the language.
Right. Being able to read Hangul essentially only takes like a weekend of practice. And so even if you're there for more than a couple weeks, I think it's essentially you need to know that before you go. Because it's very easy. A lot of English words are just going to be like the word computer is written directly as computer in Hangul. So you'll already know words, some words, as soon as you get there, if you could read the language.
And so we have to sort of differentiate knowing how to speak the language versus how to read the language, because the writing system in Korean is pretty straightforward. You can pick it up in maybe a couple weeks.
Well, I would, at most, if not quicker,
or a weekend or something like that. However, knowing what you're saying takes a long time, of course, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're just talking about the writing system.
Yeah, I think Korean has an incredibly, it jumps up in difficulty. At the beginning, I think the first couple of weeks it's very encouraging because you'll make so much progress in learning how to read and write. And that you'll be motivated. But then after you get past that, it becomes very difficult, at least in my experience, very quickly. I was doing 4 hours a day, 5 days a week at my language school. And for the most part, most people were at intermediate levels, solid intermediate levels by the halfway period, about 6 months. And then most people, almost everybody, was about at the advanced levels by a year. And what I mean by that is, yeah, there's a test in Korean called TOPIK for evaluating your proficiency. But I mean beyond just the test, like actually feeling like you're an intermediate and advanced speaker.
Right.
And so, you know, around 6 months, you know, we were able to speak with anybody that had the patience to talk to us.
Right.
If both people were, you know, able to express themselves and try different ways of saying it, you could talk about anybody around the intermediate level. And then advanced, you know, you could talk even technical topics with not really easily, but you know, with not, I mean, you could do it. You could even have technical discussions after about a year.
Yeah, and I think one advantage you have there is a lot of these technical terms, they're in English anyway.
Often, yeah.
Yeah, so you can mix Korean with English.
Yeah.
And that makes, I guess, the communication much easier.
About Hangul, again, some of the things, like if you're even going there for a study abroad program,
Yeah.
you know, I encourage you to know it before you go. Even if you're only there for a short period of time, it'll be very helpful to be familiar with how to read Hangul and familiar and maybe be able to type it, even if it's slow or
So less
write
confusion.
it. Yeah, it makes it. I mean, your life will be so much easier there, even for short periods of time,
and
if you have.
So the tip number one is at least learn how to read.
Yeah, at least learn how to read before you go to Korea. I think for any reason.
Yeah.
You know, it really doesn't take that much effort to learn how to read it. But making an effort to learn the language, I think, is just a baseline level of showing your appreciation beyond just your studies. I mean, obviously,
respect.
Yeah, you know, not everyone's going to graduate from even a PhD program being fluent in Korean. It's all. I mean, that's a whole nother level of difficulty. But you know, showing that you're trying and to some degree, you know, make an attempt to enjoy speaking Korean with people. It's polite.
When you're getting your degree, it's not just about getting this piece of paper. It's more about the experience. And if you really want to fully appreciate, you know, the whole program, you have to know the culture. You have to know the language and all. It's a full package. Kind of thing, you know. You're missing out basically.
I mean, you're missing out on quite a lot. Yeah. I really encourage people to make a genuine effort to learn as much as they can.
Yeah, I know.
You know, essentially, there's only so many times that you can go, and if you have to go to the bank or something and speak with them, after the first 2 times where you know you feel nervous, and you don't, you go there and essentially like, I need to do this, so I'm gonna have to speak, you know, whatever I can, and it helps break the nervousness.
Oh yeah.
And then you're living your daily life. You just get used to the fact that whatever your language abilities are, you use them. And so you can learn really, I mean, you get better really quickly because you have to use it.
Right. And I mean, it's awkward in the beginning to use a foreign language and it's embarrassing. In order for you to be able to reach this certain level of proficiency, you have to study. There's no other way around it.
Yeah, I mean, it requires a commitment.
Bill, thank you for this very helpful conversation, and we're going to continue on, and we're going to talk about some other interesting topics for you next time, and until that time, we'll have to say bye.
Goodbye.